NASCO Group Nigeria has denied a media report that accused it of funding Boko Haram and other terrorist elements in Nigeria and other African countries. The group said that the report by journalist David Udin and terrorism funding contains defamatory and slanderous content, as it will never be sponsors to any criminal act, organization, or violence of any kind that will disrupt the peace and tranquility of the Nigerian state or any country in the world. NASCO stated that a detailed examination by the United Nations Security Council and the U.S. government totally exonerated its late founder, Dr. Ahmed Nasruddin, and his business interests of all false allegations. Now, joining us to delve a little deeper into this matter is Haroun Harry Audu, a journalist and marketing communications consultant. I want to say thank you very much. And NASCO has actually reacted to the claims by David against their late founder. Talk to us about this and how damning do you think this report is on NASCO and their image in Nigeria?
Okay, so thank you very much. Let me start out by thanking Arise TV for this opportunity. I must state up front that your director of engagement and liaison actually reached out to us when your station hosted this writer. And we appreciate the opportunity to just be here and share our thoughts. The first thing to say is that report, if you check the veracity of it, place it against the copious documents that are available in the public space, that document is of no moment because indeed, like you read in your report, the short clip that was presented, different levels of investigations were conducted. And let us remember that in the wake of 9/11, what essentially happened was the universal principle of presumption of innocence was thrown to the dogs, perhaps understandably so, because what happened to the United States government at that time and its people were unconscionable, were damaging, and so the panic reaction could be understood. But in the course of time, thousands of entities, individuals, companies who came under that cloud worked hard to exonerate themselves. And indeed, it is the case that both the United States governments, United Nations Security Council, the federal government of Nigeria, who came under a lot of pressure at the time, one by one took steps, and it was found that indeed the very tenuous allegation relating to a particular individual, as far as our founder was concerned, were found to be baseless. And so the exonerations came in droves. And I can tell you that even this relationship with our founder, a certain Egyptian businessman, you do know, if you check the records, that he also exonerated himself. The United Nations Security Council exonerated him. Beyond that, he went to the European Court of Human Rights and got a clear judgment granted, which established that his rights were violated. Beyond that, the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, you know them, the influential, non-partisan, also issued a clear statement that the approach adopted by both the US government and the United Nations violated basic fundamental human rights. So it is a question of allegations that were made. These allegations were clearly and thoroughly and extensively investigated, and there was no evidence. This writer, I think, belongs to this category of people. Unfortunately, it's not a Nigerian phenomenon. Young people of a particular generation who revel in they take pleasure in damaging institutions that are doing well. And NASCO, by its history and heritage in Nigeria, by any stretch of the imagination, has impacted thousands. Last time I checked, 300, 400,000 people directly, indirectly benefiting from the NASCO experience in this country. So we, as far as we're concerned, it was a tissue of lies. It was a concocted story, manufactured perhaps. I wonder if he was executing a hatchet job or was desperate for a name or something to that effect. And I'm happy that Arise TV reached out to us. And I think one of the things I heard was, it's necessary. It's necessary that we do. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Audu, I would like to point out there that certainly stories like this, we always give opportunity for rebuttals. but he laid his facts straight on the table and brought into question the fact that even the UN, the US, questioned the links between your founder or the late founder and jihadist funding. We've seen these things happen over time. So it is not a case of probably youthful exuberance. If the US and the UN could actually, at a certain time, put themselves at that position, and he also stated, for the record, that some kind of parlay was reached to ensure that his name was cleared.
Conjecture, innuendo, baseless rumor. There is not a single document, apart from the imagination of this writer, relating to all the issues you have raised. As we speak, there is nothing in the record on the public domain to suggest that the United Nations, the United States government, or any other entity, law enforcement entity for that matter, did find anything of value as to warrant the supposition that he stretched and struggled to indicate in his presentation. Well, by the way, let's not speak about that. Yeah, of course, like I told you at the beginning, it was obvious in the light of 9/11 that the United States government and other legitimately constituted authorities decided to go after persons, however slight the hint. Now, individuals, like I told you, had to work to prove their innocence, which is not universally the case. You know that. You don't have to be a lawyer to know that there's a presumption of innocence. In that case, you are presumed guilty, and you have to prove your innocence. But I don't want to stretch this. The reason is this. We're speaking of an entity that has a heritage of nearly 60 years in this country. NASCO Group has invested in just about every sector of the economy, and it is continued to thrive. Now, the question to ask and to answer is this. Would the same person who is doing this for the sake of employing people, providing the good life, also take the step to undermine his own foundation? I think common sense will dictate that what is happening here is an orchestrated assignment, which unfortunately, by the way, go historical. This is a company that started with jute bags. I didn't see jute bags mentioned anywhere, if indeed the history that he struggled to put together is true. Where is the story of jute bags in this story? Where is the story of detergents? Where is the story of biscuits? All of these first-class brands came long before there were conflicts. So why the focus on conflicts? So come on, give me a break. What we're dealing with here is an orchestrated attempt to do a hatchet job. Unfortunately, we live in an environment where there's a lot of gullibility. You in the media know that. There's so much that is happening that is a pandemic of information. And so people thrive on rumor, innuendo, conspiracy theories, which is what he basically did.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time. I want to say thank you. I wish we had the time to extend this more. But certainly we'll still have you on the station to talk about this.